So this is the second lesson in my basic video course about Final Cut Pro, and today we will talk about libraries, events, projects, how to manage them, how to rename them, how to keep them in Final Cut, and so on and so on. In the previous video I told you how you can close that parts of Final Cut that you don't need. Today we will talk only about browser, and we need more space to this part of Final Cut. So I want to close other parts of Final Cut interface. As you remember, you can close timeline by pressing Ctrl Command 2 button. We can close inspector panel by pressing Command 4 button, and I told that we can't close viewer display in Final Cut, but if you have two monitors, two displays, you can move viewer part to your second display. I have two displays in my computer, and just now I will move viewer part to another display. How to do that? I will show you. You should click here, and you should choose what part of Final Cut interface you want to move to the second display. I want to move viewer, and you can see I choose this thing, and I click here, and my viewer moved to the second display, but you don't, of course, you can't see that. So just now we have in Final Cut I have only one library opened, and this library is called Untitled. What does it mean, library? You can say that library is a big folder, and this is the first folder in three folders of Final Cut structure. For example, if you work with your family videos, you should make a library, and this or that library will be called my family videos. If you have for example client, and to that client you edit videos, you can make another library, and that library will be only for that client. For example, his name is John, and you can name that library John, and all videos, all projects, and all work with this client will be in that library. And in Final Cut you can open a lot of library in one time. You can have 5 libraries opened in one time, or you can have only one, as we have now. And by default, library in Final Cut library in Final Cut appears in Movies folder. You can see where your library is. For that, you should press right click to the library and go to the Reveal in Finder command, and we can see Finder here, and this library Untitled is on my system disk, on my first hard disk. By default it is Macintosh HD called, but I renamed this drive to system. But as you can see, but this is in Russian, but your your folder will be here, movies. If you can't see this path to the folder, you can do this thing. Go, no, not go. View. This is view, and in English. And here you will see, I think, show path. Show path, maybe in English it is show path, and you can see where is your where you are just now. So, and this is my library. Untitled here is opened in Final Cut, and in Finder it is in my movie folder. But you can move library everywhere on your disk. You can put it to the flash card and put to another computer and open this library on another computer and work with this library. You can send this library to your friend or to your client, for example, by Google Disk, by other cloud thing, and of course you can have a lot of libraries. But library, it is not just a folder, it is package. And to open this package you should press right click, and in English you will see here a command like show package content. I think this thing, show package content. But you don't need to do that. But only for information, I want to show you what is in library, what a library contains. Okay, let's go here. And here you can see the name of event. About events we will talk just now. And here you can see motion templates. What does mean motion templates? This is a special folder to keep external plugins for Final Cut. You can keep them in your movies folder, and you can keep it in the library. How to choose this or that way, I will show you. So, as I said, library, it is a big folder. For example, and I advise you, try to rename your libraries as you like. Don't keep it like Untitled, Untitled 1, Untitled 2. It's not good because it's hard to find this or that library. For example, I work with my client Jack, and I want to rename this library like Jack. I press enter to rename the library, and it is renamed just now. But if I go to the Finder, you can see that we have this library here renamed to Jack. Okay, but you can rename it here. For example, not Jack but John. And if I rename library in Finder, it will be renamed in Final Cut 2. But I think John, we should restart Final Cut to see our changes. I will restart it. And as you can see, it is renamed here too. I advise you to keep library on on that hard drive where you have enough space to keep your sources, because your library will contain all your sources that you have. In library, you will keep your media files, your videos, your audio files, your pictures, your sounds, and other things, and try to keep library on that drive where you have enough space to keep all that stuff. If you have external hard drive, as I have, I advise you to keep your library on the external drive. For example, I have external drive. It is called my book, and I want to move my library to that hard drive. What should I do? I press Command N button to open a new window of Finder. Then I go to my book hard drive, and here I want to have a new folder, and I press Command Shift N button to make a new folder, and this folder will be will have a name like maybe my final cut libraries. Okay, and I want to go into this folder, and I will move my library here, but I press Command to cut from previous folder and copy to this folder. Okay, and as you can see, we don't have now this library in my movies folder, because I just moved it to my external hard drive, my book, to this folder. But if we go to the Final Cut, it will say that Final Cut Pro cannot save change to John, because we have just moved our library. Okay, there is no problem here, because we should show to Final Cut where our library just now. So press Continue, then go to this icon or File, Open Library, Other, and we can see here our library, and we should press Locate to show Final Cut the straight path to our library. I go to my external hard drive, then my Final Cut libraries, and here it is, my library John. I should open it, and as you can see, it is here. And if I click right mouse button and reveal in Finder, it is opening in my book external hard drive, this folder, and this is my library. Each library contains events. Events, you can say that events, events are folders too, but these folders are less than library. Library, it is a big folder, because it contains all our project, all our work about John, client John, for example. But every event has only videos for this or that project, event, video. For example, you have For John, you do any advertisement for John, advertisement video, and in each event it will be other separated advertisement. In this event, I will rename it. It will be advertisement about apples, and I will rename it like Apple video. Apple video, and when I will import media in this event, it will be here, and only only that video about apples I will work with them only in this event. Every library must have at least one event. We can't delete this event. If we try to do that, I right click to this event, and then I press move event to trash, but nothing is changing because every library must have at least one event. Okay, continue. So if you want to make for John another video, for example, about videos advertisement about watch, you can make another event. You can do that with option and button, and you can name it like watches, like watches. Okay, and this event will appear in library John. Okay, let's press OK, and we have the second event in this library. Each library can contain a lot of events, uncountable quantity of events. And for other video, you should make another event for another. And if you want to work, for example, with your family video, you should make another library. Let's do that. And this library will not be about John's video. It will be only your family videos. And let's make this thing. But before we do that, I want to show you how these events are in in Finder. Let's do that. I press right click on John's library, then reveal in Finder to have it opened in Finder. And here let's open library John. How we do that: show package content, and here we can see our events. Apple video, you can see it here, and this is folder of this event. Watch, this is event here, but in Finder it is library watches here. And when you will import your media, your original media will go to these folders. But as I said, you don't need to open library. It's just only for information to you. I want you to know what does it mean events and how they look in Finder. So, and we wanted to make another library. Let's do that. To do that, you should go and go to File, New library, and this library will be called like my family video, where we should save this library. You can choose it here. I think it will be good if we will save it in the same folder as our previous library John. Let's save. Okay, that's great. My family video, this is one library, and John, it is second library. In every moment we can close library in Final Cut. For example, I don't want to have John's library opened in Final Cut just now, because today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and this and that, this week and other week I will work only with my family video library, and I don't need this library just now. So if I want to close it, I press right button and choose Close Library John. But when I do that, I don't delete this library. I just close it in Final Cut interface. But this library will be saved. It is saved in Finder in our hard disk. So let's press Close Library John. It is closed now, and we have only one library opened in Final Cut, and we can continue working with this library. But for example, if I want to go back to library John, I can open it I think two ways, or maybe three ways. First way to open the library is, let's go to File, Open Library, and here you can see your previous library. If you click to John here, your library John will be opened. If you can't see your library here, you should press to other menu command, and you can choose it here. If you can't see it here, you should locate your library in Finder and open it with this command. It was the first way to open library. The second way, just go to your, if you know where your library is, where your library is, you should go to Finder. I have here a folder. As you remember, we have folder like my Final Cut libraries, and in Final Cut, in Finder, I just double click to my library that I want to be opened. Double click, and it is opened now. That's great. So and as you can see, this library have one event, and this event was made by default, because as I said, each library must have at least one event in this. So let's go to another thing. That thing is called project. What does it mean, project? Project is timeline. This is synonyms. As I said, you have big folder, big library John. In library John, you have one or two or a lot of or many events, and each event can contain projects. For example, in in event Apple Video, I have one project. It is called Untitled Project. In event Watches, I don't have any projects just now. Let's create one. To do that, I press Command N. As you know, I like to use hotkeys because it's faster than we go, for example, to menu command. But if you want, you can go to menu command, file, new project, and this project, as you can see, will be created in event watches. But if you want to change your opinion, for example, you want to save this project in other event, you can choose it here. I advise you to name your project with sense. For example, this project will be called watches project. It is a project. It is timeline, and we create timeline. A little bit later, I will discuss with you this thing, and I want you to know what does it mean use custom settings and what does it mean use automatic settings, and where is the difference between these things. Okay, let's press OK, and as you can see, we have a project or timeline in event watches. Each event can contain a lot of project, but commonly we have just one project in each library, in each event. But if you want, you can have many projects in each event. For example, if you want to make other event, for example, watch project 2, you can do that. You press Command and hotkey, and you watches project 2, or you can name it watch project draft, or the best timeline of watch project. Okay, and just now we have two projects in this event. So and as you can see, we have opened a timeline that is called Watch Project 2. But if I want to open another timeline, I just double click to this project, and it is opened here, and you can see Watch Project, it is opened here. But if you want, you can go to another library or another event, and you can double click here, and our another timeline is opened. But these timelines are empty because we didn't do anything with them, and we didn't import any media materials in Final Cut, but we will do these things in our next video. And as I want to say one thing, that we can have our media contain inside library, and I prefer this way, to have all my media to this or that event inside library, and this this type media are called managed media that are inside library. But you can keep your media outside library, not inside but outside, and this type of media is called external media that are not inside library. And I want to tell you what does it mean, this thing, about properties of project. Let's make another project. I press Command N button, and what does it mean use custom settings? As you can see, it means that that our project will be based on first video clip properties. For example, if you have your videos made in 1920 to 1080, this type of resolution, and 60 frames per second, if you choose this thing, automatic settings, it is automatic settings, and then you press OK. When you place your media with special resolution, with special frames per second to your project, to your timeline, this timeline will all be these properties as the first clip that you placed in the timeline. But if you want to have special properties of your project, for example, you want to have your project like 2080 to 720, this type of resolution, and you want to have 30 frames per second. Then, if you want to have special resolution and special frames per second, you should choose use custom settings, and here you should select this resolution and this rate that you want. For example, I want to have 1080p HD, this type of resolution, and for example 30 frames per second. If you want to have for example, if you want to choose your own resolution here, you should select custom resolution, and you can enter here your own digits here to have, for example, square video or any specified resolution here. Okay, okay, let's have, for example, let's have use automatic settings just now to learn what does it mean. And if I press OK button, we have this project here. If we go to inspector, we can see that this project is 1920 to 1080 and 2398 frames per second. But it doesn't mean it means nothing. It means nothing because we chose automatical settings. And if we put on our timeline video with any specified resolution, for example 1280 to 720 on our, and 60 frames per second. And if we put it here, our properties of this project will be changed to keep the resolution and frames per second and rate of the first clip that is placed to the timeline. But it is just only if we have automatic settings like this. But as I said, if I want to have any specified resolution and specified rate, you should choose that you want here use custom settings. We have a question. If we, for example, choose this resolution and this rate, and if I make the project and I want to name it, for example, 1080 and 30 fps, okay, and I make this this project, and as you can see, all these 4 projects are in event watches. But can we change this resolution and this FPS after we made this project? Yes and no. Just now, before we place any video on our timeline, we can change resolution and rate here in Inspector by pressing Modify, and you can choose another frame rate and another resolution as you want. You can do that. But if you place just one video to your timeline, then you can change only resolution. You can change a resolution, but you will not. It will not be possible to change frame rate after that time. But maybe in one time you will want to change frame rate of your project. How to do that? Because we can't do that in the working project. To change frame rate in your project that you work with, you should select all, Command A, select all your timeline, copy A, then copy Command C, all your work in timeline. Then you should make another project with that frame rate that you need, and you should paste in this new project that your previous timeline. This is the way how you can change frame rate in the project you work with. So I think that's all that I wanted to say in this, to tell you in this lesson, and I see you in the next video, and it will be a very important and very interesting topic. It is media import, and we will discuss 2 ways of media import, and of course we will discuss settings, import settings, and it is very important. Go to my next lesson.